What's up, guys? Today's a big day. Today I get my MRI done. That's cool because I find out, or well, eventually I will find out what is wrong with my back. Hopefully something that's fixable. I'm sure it is. It's not, I don't think it's that critical. But that also means I will be in the clear to work with metal again, so I get to pick up like the cutaway hails and any other restoration projects I've got. I've had a couple things just sitting here that I'm just like, well, I have to wait. The other big thing, I left off the other video popping this out of its form. I'm kind of excited about this. This is me moving past like a, I don't know why it's a fear or a hesitation or whatever. It just, something that like, I just mentally couldn't like commit to. It was weird. I have no idea. It's not that hard. I knew it wasn't that hard. It's just something I was just, I don't want to do that. I'll do that later. I'll do that later. I'll do that later. I'll do that later. And I got it. I got it done. Well, we'll see what it looks like here in a second. Let's pop it out. All right. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to run a blade here along this edge. That was satisfying. I think I used too much glue. Will it mold? Ha! So I got this flat because the silicone got under the foam core board. Just trim that stupid stuff off. There's a few air bubbles on the surface, but in here I can see very small. Let's see if I can get a glare on it. Yeah, you can kind of see it like that. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. Sweet. I am super stoked about that. Like, that has been like on my mind for so long. So that part's done. I cast all three of these pieces at once, and then I got to cast a second one of these. So cool. Do it without breaking it. Clean that up later. I'm really amazed at the silicone like really seeping into place. Like, look at that. It got all the way to the backside here and was forming around this. That's amazing. I mean, it's kind of a thick liquid. You don't expect it to be so viscous and being able to penetrate into these little tiny areas. So, genuinely impressed with that. Yeah, see how thick this hot glue is? Like, that's why I didn't want to use that to hold the pieces down, and it's got a definite thickness to it. and I didn't want that under the pieces. I wanted them to be as flat as possible, so I didn't want to use hot glue. I know they use hot glue a lot when they're making molds, but I'm like, I just don't like that. I don't want it to be raised. I don't want to have to trim off any more than I have to. All right, that wasn't so bad. It worked beautifully. I don't know why that was a mental block for me. But with that being said, I know that the silicone does not last very long. I actually have an extra jar of the Part B, the blue jar, because I bought some a couple years ago and it was sealed. I never used it, and then on the Imperial Pro Drug, when I went to make a mold for the eyes, because I wanted bigger eyes, the Part A, the yellow container, was totally solid. So that means I need to get on some projects that I need to mold and cast parts for. Namely, I think the only one I can really think of off the top of my head is my Jedi training remote. That's one thing that I've like put off and put off and put off. It was the big one that needs a lot of molds made. I have all the model kits. I just have to make molds of all the parts and cast them up in resin. So I'm probably going to do that real soon. It'd also be good to do more of this to kind of break down the fears even more. But also, it's going to, I think, expand the skill set, because I have to make a couple two-part molds, specifically for the hub cap that's used. That's the chrome part. And then the other piece is the cupola. I think needs, it doesn't, I don't think it has to be, but it'd be better if it was a two-part. So, yeah, I'm probably going to work on that real soon. All right, so I totally just broke a piece off that triple ejector rack. Oh, focus on it. Yeah. Focus. Anyways, while I was cleaning off this part here, which is no big deal, I can fix that. It's styrene, or plastic. I can use plastic cement, glue back on. You won't even be able to tell. But this I wanted to film because this is so satisfying. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna mix up some resin and pour it into my mold and see what happens. Okay, so I don't need much of this. Only probably like, I don't know, probably 2 tablespoons at the most. So if I do about a tablespoon of each, I don't have a measuring device, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. So and my resin is solid. It's like crystallized. Okay. Fortunately, I had to remove my little cap here. Keep this next to it, that way I can see how much. Okay. About to find out what works and what doesn't. I'm just going to pour this in. Pour it into a fresh one for mixing. Even more thoroughly because stuff sticks to the sides apparently, so I've heard. This is garbage now. Apparently there's a method of pouring it super thin. Oh, I meant to put some baby powder in. Oh well. I don't even know if this resin's any good. We'll find out here in a minute. This stuff's already thickening up. It's already setting up. Hot life is 3 minutes. Cure time is approximately 10 minutes. So that's pretty fast. Geez, look at this. It's only been like a few minutes. And it's like gummy. Like, it's pretty firm already. It's like spongy. Alright, so it's probably been a little bit over 10 minutes since I poured that, and what's left in the cup is hard. I mean, I just watched a video on my phone, like on YouTube, and then checked this. Like, it's ready, so I'm going to pop this out of the mold and see how it turns out. I really don't expect the first one to be perfect because I just don't. I didn't trim up the mold, I didn't clean it up, and then also I feel like my pouring was kind of sloppy and I kept messing with it. I probably should have put some baby powder in there to help release it from the mold. Yeah, so let's just take a look. Okay. Definitely hard. Wow, that actually looks pretty good. Not really a lot of bubbles, just a little bit of flashing in there. Wow, this might actually be okay, all three of them. Also, perfect. No real non-fills or anything, just some flash. And the back is a little bit thick, which I can grind right off. I got that sander, so that's cool. And this is the one piece I got to pour again. Yes. That is actually perfect. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy with how that turned out. I just got to trim off, flatten that out on the back. Get rid of the excess. Okay. Wow. I should probably just mix up a tiny little bit more and pour that other last piece and be done with this. Well, I gotta trim it and clean it up, but the casting part will be done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pour these because I got extra resin to use up. been a little over 10 minutes. Feels firm. These two pieces got fused together. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's pop out the piece I need. This one's even better than the first one. Some spares in case I mess up. They both look perfect. Alright, it's a good thing I made some spares because I broke a chunk off of this one right here. I'm trying to get it thinned down and whatever, you know. I got one more just in case that I could always grind down, which maybe I should grind it down just to have it spare because these things are thin and they're delicate. Alright, I'm just using some this Loctite Fun Tack. This is kind of my preferred way of attaching things to these. These are skewers, like bamboo skewers. I just stick it on there. Although this resin, for some reason, the Fun Tack stuff does not like to stick to it. I don't know why. It just is being difficult. It won't stay on there very well. Maybe it's something about the chemical composition or something. I don't know. Gotta love it when things are in primer, you can really see the difference. Picks up on the camera a lot better, so, or the camera can pick it up better. I can't talk. Alright, so the color that I'm going to paint this now, or those parts now that I've primed them, is called Lead Belcher. It's a Citadel paint. I don't know that I've ever sprayed this through my airbrush before, but I think I used it to put some details on something before. I found it, somebody was building they scratch built some model kit and they used this as like the undercoat, and then they did chipping of some other color over the top so it'd show through, and it's kind of a metallic steel looking kind of color, and that's what it caught my eye. I'm like, wow, that's a really amazing color. So we're gonna see how it turns out for me. I'm gonna put it through the airbrush and paint all those parts this color for their base, and then I'm gonna put a black over the top of that. Well, I mean, it looks metal now. This stuff does not like to spray. It is just chunky and splattery, and keep having to thin it even more and more, and it just splatters. Alright, I'm going to try with a different thinner. I'm going to use some Tamiya X20A thinner, which is an acrylic thinner. I've already mixed it. It feels better already, so we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully it's not as splattery and chunky, and doesn't clog up the airbrush like when I use the Mr. Hobby leveling thinner, which is my go-to one that I almost use for everything. That looks so much better. It's all smooth and even. Alright, now that I've got these painted and they look a lot more like metal, I'm actually going to paint them black and then kind of try to wear through the black to show just a hint of metal. Alright, there we go. It's got a little hints of metallic in the edges, and so that's kind of the effect I was going for. These parts are now officially done. Really good. It's hard to pick up on camera like how subtle it is. It's just a little thing. You can kind of catch a little edge right over here. But yeah, I'm happy with how that's turned out. And that's one more thing off my list. Let's see. Mold and cast Greablies. Boom. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna do next. That's it for this video. Got a big thing off my list there that was a real, you know, mountain for me to climb because I'd never done a proper mold and cast. So that's a huge relief, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So now I got to pick the next thing on my list. Not quite sure what it's going to be. Gonna go through that list, but I can work on metal now. I had my MRIs done, so no more obstacles, other than my back still hurts. Anyway, until next time, guys.